So we've got carrots, beetroot, and today we're putting in some joy choy, which is a variety of bok choy.
G'day guys, it's Tan the Fruit Nerd. Now I've been to farms across Australia, but today we're at an urban farm, which is unique because it's within 10 kilometres of the city of Melbourne. Let's go meet the farmer and check out what this farm is all about. So Claire, tell me, what is an urban farm?
Well, it's essentially a farm in an urban area. We are an urban market garden, so we grow a variety of crops for our customers, and we're quite small scale as well, so we're only on 700 square metres. Do you want me to give you a little tour of the site?
Absolutely. Cool. I'm excited.
Right, let's go. We're sort of starting to flip our summer produce.
Yep.
So we put our kale in, which is our winter crop, but we're about to take out all of this beautiful basil to put in a bit more kale. And then we've got our radish seeds just coming up here as well, just starting to
winter?
sprout. Yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
they're really great. They're super high rotation, so they grow in 25 days. And then we've got our eggplant crop.
So you've got the Lebanese eggplants?
Yeah, we do. And we also have our beautiful fairy tale eggplants down here, which is a nice
beautiful
heirloom variety, and it's nice and small as well. So you don't need to salt it to get the bitter out.
So Claire, there's about 50 varieties of produce that you grow, and you've been able to yield a tonne across the year. What tips can you give a keen home gardener to yield such variety and with such success?
I think the main thing is to really take care of your soil. That's very important in an urban environment. Our soil's generally very depleted, so integrating a lot of compost and manure, mulching it in summer, never letting it dry out, never stepping on it as well, that's a big one. So soil is always your #1 priority.
And you've been very specific about not stepping on the soil. Is that because you want to keep the soil really aerated?
Exactly, yeah. So soil is kind of like a sponge, but it's a sponge where if you step on it, it won't really spring back. So really important to keep those air pockets in the soil.
So Claire, tell me what the difference is between the produce that you grow here and the produce that you can get like in the supermarket.
So our produce is completely organic, so we don't use any pesticides, herbicides, synthetic fertilizers. So it has low embodied carbon. It's also hyper local to people who are near here, and it's really, really fresh. So
well, this beetroot looks absolutely amazing. And now that you've told me that it's completely organic, I'm just gonna take it out of the ground and give it a bite. That's really sweet.
A lot of supermarkets, they've raised our standards of how things look and certain sizes, but actually when you buy from small scale organic growers, they might be a little wonky, they might have some holes in the leaves, but you know that you're getting something really healthy, really fresh, and super organic and great for the farmer as well.
So Claire, you've made me a box. Tell me what's in it and what's in season.
Yeah, so everything that's in here is in season, so we're kind of at the tail end of summer. So we've still got our beautiful eggplants, our capsicum, and our basil. And then we're coming into our winter crop. So we've got our spigarello, which is an interesting green. And then we've got our spring onions, our beetroot, rhubarb, which is a perennial, and our turnips.
Claire, I've noticed that there's plants at the end of your rows. What are they?
So we have a few different things here. We've got our onion chives, which are a perennial chive. It's similar to spring onions pretty much. So that's like a constant harvest that if we don't have anything in the middle of winter, we can always harvest the chives. So they're great. And then we have this, which is called alyssum. And it's a long-lived flower. It has these tiny, tiny little flowers within it. And it's very important for our beneficial insects because they have really tiny mouths. They need a tiny, tiny little flower to eat out of. So
it is tiny.
Yeah, so we grow this, and that's one of the main.
It actually smells like honey.
Yeah, so we don't have to spray because we've got all of our beneficial insects coming in, eating this, and then parasitizing all of the bad bugs.
So they're kind of like predator bugs, right?
Yeah. So
very good.
It's great.
Claire, I've noticed that there's a lot of bees coming to these yellow flowers. What are they?
So these are called calendula. They are an edible medicinal flower that's also really great for our insects. And the benefit of these is you can let it go to seed, which you can see, you can see here. It'll drop all of its seeds and then you get a forest of calendula like we have here.
We've got a delivery. What's this, Claire?
So this is some beautiful chaff, which is the outside layer of the coffee bean. And then we've got some coffee grounds. which are great for organic matter. It's also a good slug repellent, so it'll keep the soil nice and healthy.
Can you show me what you do with it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So with the coffee, we just kind of sprinkle it on the paths, and eventually it'll break down and we'll rake it back over the beds. And it's beautiful, like high nitrogen, a lot of organic matter, and then we'll come over that with the chaff as well. So with the chaff, it's really light, so we just kind of take the bag generally and pour it on the path.
Wow. So Claire, tell me, who decides on the seeds and what gets grown in this urban farm?
So I'm the only farmer here, but yeah, I've been choosing my seeds pretty selectively for a while now. So I do buy a lot of hybrid seeds, which are bred specifically to be like high yield or good pest and disease resistance. They're not GMO, they're all organic, but I will buy them in bulk as well to save a bit of money.
It's changing seasons now, we're in autumn. How do you choose what to plant next?
Well, there's a few things you have to consider, especially on a small market garden. So you kind of want higher turnover crops, things like your radish, your lettuce, your Asian greens, spring onions. They'll cycle through really fast and you can actually make a little bit of a profit. So I will sell direct to customers, generally just through Instagram. And then if I have a lot of crops and I need to get it out, I will donate to food relief organizations.
Cool.
Occasionally I'll sell to restaurants and things like that, but yeah, I really love donating fresh produce to people who really deserve it.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. So how do you know all this information about what to grow, when to grow it, and what might work well in a market garden here close to the city?
Well, it's been a learning experience working here for 3 years. So yeah, every year you'll have things that fail and things that do really well. So just taking note of that. But I did study horticulture at university, which was incredible. And before that, I've volunteered on heaps of different farms around the world. So yeah, just a lot of learning via that.
Claire, I have to ask, how can you afford a piece of land that's only within 10 kilometres of the city and farm?
So I partner with this incredible organisation and they actually rent the land.
Okay.
And then I sell them the produce at a kind of wholesale organic rate.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a partnership.
Thank you so much for showing me your urban farm and good luck with the winter harvest.
Thanks so much for coming. This is for you.
Oh,
so
thank
enjoy
you.
your dinner.
I'm excited with all this local fresh produce. Cheers.
Yeah, enjoy.